Hello and welcome to the weather update. Just gathering everything together. It's a little late tonight, but you can see the heavier rain has now moved over eastern Suffolk County. I don't think there are any more flash flood warnings in issued. Oh wait, we do have a flood warning that is still in effect now. Okay, so flood warning. This isn't just a flash flood warning; it's a flood warning, and this is for parts of southern Connecticut. Southern Connecticut, we got a flood warning. We also got flood warning, Saddle River and Lodi. Flood warning till 10:45, Westchester. Flood warning, Ramapo River. So these are for all the rivers here that we have. These are what these flood warnings are for. And if we click here, you'll see here Riverhead now getting hit with the heavier rain. And let's see, flood watch. I guess it's not a flood warning, but only light rain being reported at Gabreski Airport right now. But still a lot. What a day it was today. Really just incredible day. I'll just show you some of the scenes that were going on across the area. We're going to start with Long Island, first of all. This is Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown, I believe. Take a look at, I don't know if that's Hempstead. No, it's not Hempstead Turnpike, but this is a street, I maybe Bicep. This is a street in Levittown. Look at the water. Cars stuck in the water. If we go and we Google flooding here, you'll see flooding in New York City. Subways flooded. Look at the water coming into the subway. A lot of subway service suspended. See another look here of what's going on in Brooklyn. Manhattan is flooding. This is unbelievable, the flooding going on. Flooding all over the place here. Flooding at LaGuardia as well. Flooding, and here's another look at the subway. So this is a really... that's not good. A government shutdown is, yeah, that's right. They're really great. Look at these people who had to stand on the bus. This is incredible. Look at this. So this is just, some example of what's going on. New York City is flooding like crazy. Whirlpools in the street. Central Park submerged. And a big mess on the MTA system right now. Services disrupted across our network due to heavy rain and flooding right now. And there have been... it looks like the subways have at least been restored compared to what was going on earlier, where a good chunk of the subway system was just out of service. It could not handle the amount of water. Of course, it's going to go down into the subways. Trains. We have, let's see, full service has just been restored between Valley Stream after crews made repairs. So Long Island Railroad, for the most part, was doing okay, but later on when that heavier band hit, we also have a station notice on the Long Beach branch. Full service has also been restored there as well, so they've been able to drain that area out after all that rain. Metro North, let's see, we have limited Hudson Line service is restored, so they have limited Hudson Line service, and we still have that suspension. Has been resumed hourly service between Grand Central. So there is limited service as they drain water from the tracks there and delays on the New Haven line. A big mess across the area today. Looking at some of the pictures of what we have out there, you can see these are some of the pictures I took. That's a waterfall you see there. That's Mill Pond there. I have a whole video of it for you. But that's Mill Lake. You can see how fast that water is flowing. Absolutely incredible speed on that water there. Real fast moving water there. I've never seen a waterfall like that before, and that is what we had at Mill Lake, and it was pretty incredible, I might add. Let's see, we got some more pictures here to show you here. Another look at it. Just raging torrents from that. I've never seen those waterfalls look like that. And then we had this really cool-looking sky towards sunset. These are the Mammatus clouds, all right? It was absolutely insane. The sky looked like this. How about that? That's insane right there. That's pretty crazy. So, and I have video of that for you as well. It's all up processing, and we'll get to it. Let's go to the radar right now. We're going to go to Ventus Sky and go over what happened today. We're going to rewind the radar and show you. We'll start around 11 o'clock, and actually we'll start around 9 o'clock. And you can see that heavy band setting up. Here we are, not 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Sets up over New York City, Nassau County. Here we are, 12 o'clock, setting up. Still training over the city, Nassau County. Still getting hammered, 3 o'clock. And then it actually got enhanced. You can see some reds here affecting, again, some of these areas like Rockville Center. Really hammered. There's a lot of flooding in Rockville Center. I have one more picture to show you. The basement of the Avalon has flooded underwater due to all that rain. You can see it slowly started moving east as we got toward 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, but it really just took its sweet time. See, I got to Suffolk, of course, it usually does peter out a little bit, but still a pretty good heavy rain there over Suffolk County, but a flood warning was not needed. Flash flood warnings were not needed for eastern Suffolk, but for central Suffolk, western Suffolk, Nassau County, New York City, the Hudson Valley, and parts of New Jersey, they certainly were. And it was really just an incredible, incredible day. So let's go and look at the current rainfall reports that we have out there right now. We have the, let's see, I know when this list was updated. All right, 9:31 it was updated. So you could see parts of Connecticut over 5 inches of rain. Fairfield, Norwalk 5.42. New Haven County 4.38. Bergen County 3.68. Essex County 3.37. But these numbers are nothing compared to what we've gotten in our area. So as we head toward the city, you'll see Fordham in the Bronx 6.19 inches. Kings County in Brooklyn, South Slope 7.85 inches. So you're talking 7 inches of rain. Look at Nassau County. 9.06 inches, and Valley Stream, East Rockaway, 7.90 inches. Great Neck, 6.48 inches. Belmore, 6.12 inches. Merrick, 5.56 inches. So South Shore Nassau really hit hard. Carl Place, 4.97 as well. There was flooding in Glen Cove as well. In Manhattan, 6.09 inches. In Midtown, Central Park got 5.80. Queens, JFK Airport up to 8.65 inches. Staten Island 2.93, Rockland County 4.78, Suffolk County 4.27, and Northport. The numbers there aren't quite as crazy. Smithtown 2.94. Some of these numbers were taken, before that ban completely finished through. Westchester County, New Rochelle 6.49, Hartsdale 5.78. You're talking 2 months worth of rain and over in a lot of areas, and I'm sure a lot of records were broken for the day. And some of these may have been records here, and we're going to go to their Twitter. They don't have a Twitter anymore, apparently. I don't see it here. Here it is. All right. Let's see if they have any links to any of the records that were broken for today here. Let's see. You can see here's a radar animation of the rain. All right, so here are some storm total amounts here. It'll be interesting to see if I'm sure that a lot of sites set records today. So let's go to the climate site here. Just hold on a sec. Local past weather, ice slip. So you can see there, all right, that's an old report, 1.08. That was 4. Actually, that was as of 4:45. That's an old report. Disregard that. That's why I don't want to read these, because they were taken at 5 o'clock, and we all know things change drastically over that amount of time. So let's go take a look at our observations here. And go ahead and look at our observations, and you look at ice slip right now, 61. So they've got light rain, but just to show you what the day was like at Islip today. Again, you can see the rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain. See that again. So that's what you got going on right there. All right, so let's look at our rainfall totals. Total accumulated precipitation, we're going to go all the way for the past 36 hours and show you the rainfall amounts. You see Suffolk County really, only an inch is not that much once you go further west. This is where the amounts start adding up. 3.62 in Bay Shore, 4.33 in Northport, 4.82 in Syosset, and 6.06 inches in Levittown. And then as we get into southwestern Nassau, this is where it really gets crazy. 9.13 in Valley Stream, 4.48 in Manhasset, 7.41 in Belrose. We go into the city here, LaGuardia, almost 5 inches of rain there. 8.67 at JFK. Over 5 inches here. I mean, the Central Park got 5.87 inches of rain. And then you're going into New Jersey. It gets a little less as you go into New Jersey, 2 inches. Then as you go into the Hudson Valley, this is where you can see what the band's set up here. Westchester County, 5.86 in New Rochelle, 6.12 in Armonk, and then into Connecticut, too. A lot of heavy amounts, too. Northwestern Connecticut, 5.83. We're still under a flood warning, 5.83 over there, 4.30 at Unionville. So, yeah, a lot of rain falling in this area. It's incredible to see the amount of rain. Looking at New Jersey, Toms River got 1.68, but you go a little bit further to the north, and some of these areas like South Howell, you're talking about 3.35, 4.29 in Point Pleasant. There was some flooding in Asbury Park, too, flash flooding there as well. 2.22 in Pinewald. So, yeah, tremendous amount of rain. And it's not over yet. We're still going to get a little more rain, believe it or not. I'll look at the models. And when I look at the models, I don't want to look at them either. But, we're going to get some more rain from this. Actually, I want to go back to the climate report here because observed JFK. Let's see. JFK has set a record. So here's your record at JFK. 7.97 inches of rain fell at JFK. That's a record for the day. And it probably could be its month on record, too, as well. Be interesting when the climate statistics come out. Central Park, because Islip got hit later. Central Park also setting a record of rainfall for the day, 5.47. And again, that is a record as well. LaGuardia, also a record there. I think everybody pretty much set a record rainfall today, except for Newark, 1.69. So for whatever reason, not as much rain there. Let's look at Bridgeport, probably got hit later, but they still got hit. 1.72 is a record for them as well. So a lot of these sites really just going, it's just incredible to see the amount of rain that has fallen. Let's look at the satellite and take a look at how this thing evolved here. And you can see the deep tropical moisture that's advected over here. And there were thunderstorms, too, as well. It was some thunder and lightning in some parts of our area as well. And you can see that big plume of moisture there. And there's another part that's popping over the east end. So more could still arrive. We're not out of the woods yet by a long shot. Let's just look at some power outage situation here. I'll just go to the power outage U.S. map briefly and see what we have. New York has 3,000 outages. And Suffolk, 2,077. Nassau, 516. Queens has 1,585. So there has been some power outages. Westchester, only 2. So there have been some power outages due to this. Jersey only has 619. Not a huge power outage impact. It's mainly the impact on just the roads and the flooding and everything like that. We look at 511NY, which will be the next thing we'll look at here. We may still have a lot of closures due to flooding. I see a lot of closures here on this map. Not so much for Long Island. Let's see. The Wandsworth Parkway looks like it's closed. It looks like we have flooding on the Wandsworth State Parkway, so all lanes are closed, probably because these lakes have overflowed. That's probably what's happened. And we also have flooding on the Meadowbrook, too, so we've got a lot of closures here. Flooding on the Meadowbrook southbound. It's all at exit Southern State. So flooding on the Meadowbrook State Parkway southbound. At Southern State, all lanes are closed right now due to flooding. And it's again, these lakes, we're going to have to wait for them to drain, and it's going to take some time, especially with more rain coming. It's really incredible to see. North Shore, we have a closure here as well. In North Hills, what do we got over here? Flooding on the Northern State Parkway. A few lanes closed there as well. But the worst areas are all right. The worst hit areas are going to be, let's see, Suffolk. I don't see any closures here. But the worst hit areas are going to be in the Hudson Valley. We also have parts in New York City that are lots of these up here. But let's look at the Hudson Valley because I think the Bronx River Parkway may still be closed. That's a crash. Bronx River Parkway roadway. Yeah, Bronx River Parkway still closed. Who knows when that's going to open? Springbrook also closed as well. Flooding on the Sawmill as well. So lots and lots of flooding everywhere. Pretty much a lot of these roads are just closed off here. Road closures on Bronx River Parkway. So Bronx River Parkway is shut down, and it could be shut down into tomorrow afternoon, especially if we get more rain. I don't see how it's going to get any better, for sure. It's pretty bad. It's very, very bad out there. So let's go over to the models here. We're just going to go over the weather for the weekend, obviously, because the storm is still not gone yet. Whoops, got to change that to the northeast here. Storm is still not gone yet, so let's go to the HRRR first of all, looking at the short-range models today. And you'll see, yeah, we get a break, but then look what happens. We get a little more rain activity again, a little extra bit here in the afternoon. Well, maybe not so much in the afternoon, late morning hours, and maybe a few light rain spritzes hanging around in the afternoon. Then finally, it's done. This low pulls away, and we start drying out. That's the HRRR. Let's go to the NAM, which we should have enough in already. This is the NAM 3. All right, you can see it's throwing some more rain back. But luckily, yeah, the worst is over, I think. But I still think it's going to take until tomorrow to get some of these roadways dried out. And you'll see a little bit more rain over the east end of Long Island tomorrow. But other than that, it pulls away. We dry out. And that's the good news about all of this. So let's go look at our dew points and wind flow. And you'll see that northeasterly wind flow continuing into tomorrow. Northeasterly wind still continuing. It was breezy out there, too, by the way. And then we see the dew points come down tomorrow night into Sunday. Lower dew points, though. It's showing a little bit of an elevation of dew points on Sunday. So it won't be dry. Probably because of all the water in the ground, probably. So as the sun shines on it, it's going to take a while for everything to dry out. So tonight, drop into the 50s. Tomorrow, we're probably not going to... We'll make it a little warmer than today. Probably just 60s. 50s again tomorrow night. And then, yes, Sunday, we'll get into the low 70s finally. So hopefully, it's like I said, dry this out. Let's go to the RGM model here. And we'll visualize the storm again pulling away. So here's your storm. Obviously, tomorrow, we're still going to see plenty of clouds. Maybe some breaks later on in the afternoon. But it is a Sunday that should be our nice sunny day. We should have a nice sunny day on Sunday. And Monday as well. Should be mostly sunny as well. So, I will run one more model. The smoke model. I wasn't really going to run it. But we'll just a little bit. So hopefully we can have some blue skies to look forward to. And then we're going to go over the rivers and lakes. So there's the smoke model. Here we are into tomorrow. And Sunday, only very thin smoke, mainly east, I think. I don't think it'll be that much. So, let's get back to this. We're going to talk about our rivers and lakes because that's the next area we got to look out for here as our rivers and lakes. So, let's go to our rivers and lakes here and find it. Where are you? I know you're there. There you are. All right. Because we got a lot of rivers in flood stage right now. All right. All right. Well, orange, Hudson Bay. Hudson Bay at Freeport that's a tidal river. Jamaica Bay at Inwood is up there. We've got a purple on the Bronx River. So that's major flooding on the Bronx River. You can see that it's in the purple there. When you see that purple, that means major flooding. Yeah, and the river there is flooding quite a bit. Going to the other one, Saddle River, also cresting at around, it looks like 8 feet. Hackensack River as well is at moderate flooding stage. We go to Connecticut, moderate flooding on the Housatonic, and that's still rising. Ponpareg River also up at major flood stage. So let's go look at New Jersey. A lot of these are tidal sites, but they're up there too because you got a lot of the flood waters coming down into these tidal sites, raising the levels as well into the orange you see there. Toms River, let's look at the Toms River. I think it's still doing okay. Yeah, there's nothing, not even close to flood stage. Like I said, Toms River they got the heavier rain, but they never really got into that really bad band that a lot of these areas in the northeast New Jersey, New York City, Nassau County, and Connecticut and the Hudson Valley got into. So what an incredible day. And quite a disaster, and there's going to be a lot more see when it comes to this. Let's just look at News 12 Long Island and show you just downpours doused Long Island. Nearly 8 inches of rain reported. Basements were flooded and drivers had to be rescued. So this is their coverage of this. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but the county executive said they had to divert traffic away from any issues. And, of course, they were in Belmore, where conditions. Of course, they were on the South Shore, not surprisingly. Belmore, Woodmere, East Rockaway, So they weren't really in the middle of the island that much. And, the middle of the island, there were some areas where there was flooding. But, yeah, that South Shore Nassau County area was the hardest hit. So I can't completely blame them for being there. But there were other areas that were flooding, like Levittown, and they didn't cover that. So it was the middle of the island, of course. So pipe burst, raw sewage came out. That happened in Baldwin. So, this is a big mess that's happened here. And if we go to News 12 Westchester, you'll see the same thing. Mandatory evacuations issued in the city of Rye. So they are evacuating the city of Rye. Oh, boy. At least a part of it. That's incredible. So you can see the water there. It's really, really bad. This is going to be a major disaster. It could turn out to be worse than Ida, and I just hope that people got out of their basement apartments, because when Ida hit, a lot of people died in those basement apartments. Basement apartments are illegal in a lot of places, and for good reason. You can see state of emergency in effect as storm brings flooding damage to New York City and beyond. So, absolutely incredible disaster today, and praying for everybody affected, obviously. But we're going to see more and more of these things due to climate change. It's only going to get worse because, again, we have all this warmer oceans, slower moving, steering currents. So when you get a heavy area like this, it just sits instead of moves. And it's only going to get worse for this is only going to look back at this one when it rains 15 inches instead of 8 inches, and say, hey, 8 inches is not so bad. Oh, we got latest flooding reports in. So let me read this one, and then I'll wrap up this video here. Flash flood at Coney Island. Vehicles stranded in floodwaters. Flash flood at Coney Island. School being evacuated. Flooding in Flatbush. Flooding in Flatbush. Flooding in Jackson Heights, Queens. LaGuardia Airport fuel farm flooded and unusable. So the fuel farm may be out of service at LaGuardia. That's going to cause a lot of travel headaches. Flash flood in Ramsey and Bergen County. A flash flood in Flatbush, Jackson Heights, Hawthorne. Taconic Parkway closed due to flooding. Hutchinson River Parkway. All those roads are flooded. Subway line service suspended in Mott Haven in the Bronx. That's an area where there was a lot of flooding, that's like a choke point to where Metro North comes in. There was a lot of flooding there too, which shut down Metro North. Flash flood at Greenpoint, Bayside, Cross Island Parkway ramp flooding, Greenpoint flooding, Fordham flash flood, portions of Metro North and New Haven line suspended. So that's where there was flooding there. Elmsford, Sawmill Road Parkway closed. Flash flood at Monsey. DOT reports flooding and road closure on New York 306. Flooding in Mount Vernon. Flooding. I could go on and read these. I really could. Flooding in Nassau County as well. Woodmere. Flooding in Rockville Center. Flooding in Woodmere. Elmont flooding. Hicksville flooding. Danbury Airport flooding. Water rescues going on in Murray Brook Road. Rockville Center. Flash flood. Belmore. Motorists stuck in floodwaters. Linden Street, Oceanside, Long Island Railroad suspended between Lynbrook and Long Beach. Jericho, submerged vehicle in floodwaters. North Wantaw, flooding in North Wantaw in North Wantaw. It doesn't say what street. Flooding in Danbury Airport. Flooding in East Meadow. Flooding all over the place. So it's just an incredible disaster. I'll put all the links in this below so you can read the whole list. But that's going to be it for this video, man. Good luck drying out. Have a good night.